All right, everybody, welcome to Sports Talk for You, another episode here. I am the host, Aaron Pell. I have my co-host, Armand Ely, and Adam Parker with us today. We have a very special guest in the house today from the Wichita WindSurge. We want to welcome General Manager Jay Miller. Hello, Jay.
How's it going, guys?
Good to have you on.
Great.
Glad you took time out of your day to be with us and enjoy this wonderful day, even though it's sad that we can't play any baseball right now.
Yeah, I just got done walking the stadium with the guy that built it, and there were a few tears shed, but we'll get through it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So go ahead and just take us through how you guys are handling this situation right now with no baseball, how the players are dealing with it, what's their reactions to it, and are you guys just doing everything you can to keep the front office staff, to keep the players positive, saying, hey, this is, baseball's going to happen this year, whether it's in June or July?
Yeah, and the one thing about baseball, Lou, our owner, and myself, the two of us have been in the game almost 40 years, and baseball is resilient. I've been through a couple of major league strikes, which that was no fun. We've seen a lot of different things in the game. This one is pretty much out of everybody's control. And when you're talking about health and safety, that's what's most important. But for the guys, the J.E. Dunn and Ebeat and all the people involved with building this stadium to get it done in a year's time. And like I said, we were just walking through there about 20 minutes ago, and the place is beautiful. So when we're ready to play, I think the people of Wichita and the people from all over that come to watch games here are going to be very impressed with the outcome.
I tell you what, I took one of those open tours back in early March, and I have to say that's one impressive place you guys have. I would honestly say it's probably one of the best minor league stadiums I've been into. And I've gone down to Oklahoma City quite a bit. I think this one trumps that by far.
Well, and Lou and I were talking last night. We had a group of us that had dinner together, and we were saying the top five, and we've seen them all. And needless to say, Wichita can be one or two with any one of those. But the way the suites are set up, where you got the patios, I mean, even the bullpens. Our boys can go to the bathroom in between innings. They even got a bathroom out there in their bullpen. So there are a lot of little things that were thought of, and it was baseball people that built it in the design build, and they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, what made you choose the design that you did? You guys tore down Lawrence Dumont Stadium to build this particular model. What made you choose this one?
I think with a design build, and when you got as many knowledgeable people that were involved with this, from the architects to the builder to the guy from the ownership staff who was really our trigger guy named Jordan Kobritz, all of us have seen so many different stadiums, and I think we all had bits and pieces, of suggestions, as far as it would be nice to do this, I mean, we're going to play football in this stadium. And so when you got the tour, Armand, you probably remember how long the dugouts were. We're going to be able to put a football team in that dugout. And because we want to use the facility for so many other things besides just baseball. And a lot of great minds went into thinking things through, and, and that's why it turned out the way it did.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Are pretty big. It was very, very impressive, and I'm looking forward to being there once things get going again.
Well, you guys, let me know if you guys want to come out as a gang, and we'll put you down in the front row, and right by our dugout, and treat you special, and let you see it firsthand, not us the first time.
Well, thank you so much.
Tell us about your history as being part in baseball. You have a pretty long, extensive history being in minor league baseball. You were once named minor league executive of the year twice in 2001, 2003. Tell us about your experience.
I've been very blessed. Like I say, I think this is either year 39 or 40. Who's counting? But I spent 17 years with the Rangers in the big leagues, and I ran Nolan Ryan's team for 10, 12 years. And the whole thing is just a fairy tale. I mean, if you can go through your life and have a job where you feel like you've never worked, that's a pretty damn good job. And that's how I feel, because I love baseball. And when you have a bad day, and everybody has bad days, but when I have a bad day, I look out my window and I look at a baseball field. And you're looking at the background here, this is our trailer. And this is the last day in this trailer, and we're getting ready to move into the ballpark. And I've been able to do that like 5 or 6 times, move into a new ballpark. And the feeling you get when you walk in there, you just feel so blessed. And that's how I'm going to feel Wednesday when I walk in that park for good.
Yeah. Another thing I want to touch on was, now a lot of people were saying when they came out and said that you guys were moving to Wichita, we were going to get a AAA team here, all that stuff. People were saying, well, brand new stadium, it's going to bring fans in. But then a lot of people are saying after maybe 2-3 years, are fans going to stop going after they go to this new stadium? And then after 2 or 3 years, are they going to stop going? Like, what's your guys' predictions, and what's your guys' main thing to keep an eye on to keep fans coming out to the game?
Well, Lou Schweckheimer, our owner, and myself, we've been fighting with each other across the field for all these years. He ran Pawtucket and drew 700,000 people years and years in a row, and we did the same thing in Round Rock. And it's kind of funny. I'd look at attendance and I'd say, I got his ass tonight, thinking that my crowd of 9,000 was going to get him, and he'd have 10,000. And the two of us really competed back and forth for years. We were usually 1 and 2 in the attendance numbers for minor league baseball. Now you got Charlotte that's up there, and Nashville, and a few others. But we look at every single night as, it's opening day for somebody. So if you treat all 70 games like it's opening day, and it's funny because I have meetings with the staff before a game, and I'd say to them, what's today? This is when I was with the Rangers, and they got so tired of it. There'd be a newbie in the room that didn't know. I go, it's opening day, because it's opening day for somebody. And if you treat every game like it's opening day, you're going to run a special place. And that's what we try to do. We try to make something going on that night, whether it's a group or a Boy Scout night or a sleepover or whatever it may be. We have something going on every night where there's a reason for a different group or community or whatever to come to the ballpark. And a lot of operators just open the gates and expect people to come. We're not going to do that. We're going to make it affordable. Our most expensive ticket downstairs is $15, which is what the Wingnuts charge for their most expensive ticket in the bleachers. And the level of baseball, AAA baseball, and we're going to make soda and beer and hot dogs and everything affordable to where families can come out. And all of those are factors in keeping your attendance numbers where they need to be.
So with your success that you've had throughout the years, what would you say is your formula for success?
I think that I love people, first of all. I love being around people. That's why this virus is no good for me. I haven't been real good about staying away from people. But, if I meet you and I see you a few times, I'm going to remember your name. And there might be something I remember about you to help me remember your name. But remember, everybody's favorite word. What's everybody's favorite word? Their name. Their name.
Their name, yep. Mm-hmm.
If you call someone by their name, it's almost like, wow, how'd that guy know me? Especially if the guy walks through your ballpark opening day and then 3 weeks later he's back and you haven't seen him since opening day, and you say, Aaron, where the hell you been? I saw you opening day, haven't seen you since. All of a sudden there becomes a bond between you and the fan. And Lou's the same way. We're cut from the same mold, and that's what we got to get with all our young people is people that are coming to your stadium. They're choosing where they spend their time, and they're a guest in your building. And if you treat them right, they'll keep coming back. And I think the secret to success is remembering your customer, appreciating your customer, and hey, buy them a beer if they're in line, and hand it to it. The little things make the difference. And if we always remember that the customer is number one, that's when you have success.
Right. Hey, give a message to the fans who have purchased, tickets already and are not able to go to the game due to this pandemic. What is the Surge's plan on either, refunding or somehow compensating the fans who brought tickets?
No, again, that's a great question, Armand. We really feel like there's going to be baseball this year. I mean, right now it's April 18th, and look at how antsy everybody is right now. People are ready to get out, and between now and say June 1st or the middle of June, there's almost 2 months in between, and this thing changes daily. You know, with watching, I only watch the news once a day because if you try to watch all the different things on the news in regards to this virus, your head's going to be spinning.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've got the greatest scientists on the planet trying to figure this out, and I feel like New York's starting to come back, and I'm telling you, the people, you guys are in Wichita, people are going crazy. I mean, I walked the river earlier today, and it was amazing how many people were down there. But I just don't see it going on all summer. Opening day, we sold that game out in 40 minutes. And to answer your question, everybody that has opening day tickets, the first game we play is going to be treated like opening day. So if you have opening day tickets, your ticket is good for that game. And then moving forward, we'll accommodate the fan, whether it's a credit for next year or if we have to refund a ticket. Everybody we've talked to thus far just says, hey, as long as I can trade it for another game, that's great by me. And the ones that have opening day are ecstatic to know that they still have opening day whenever opening day is.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. Also, tell us about the roster coming up. Do you have like a roster of potential players?
Yeah, and I wish I had that. I wish I had that in front of me. I have not been associated with the Marlins. I was with the Rangers for all those years and the Astros, but I know we got 3 or 4 starters that all throw 100 miles an hour. And in that Stanton trade with the Yankees and then the Yelich trade with the Brewers, we got a lot of their top prospects and their top arms, and they're all coming here. And we're just wondering how long we're going to keep them. Again, I wish I had the roster in front of me to tell you, but we're going to be loaded. And Baseball America had us as one of the top 10 teams in baseball coming up this year in the minor leagues. So I think we're going to be real good.
Go ahead and let the fans know who's going to be the rivalry in this city. I mean, who's going to be the rival team to come in here that fans are going to go out and just egg them on and talk a lot of crap and all that stuff.
My guess is, Aaron, that's going to be Omaha. You know, with the Royals.
My Royals.
Your Royals are just up the road. And I think it's going to be Omaha. I think Oklahoma City will be a good rival.
What do you think, Memphis?
I think Memphis because of the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Iowa with the Cubs. Me, Round Rock, because I want to kick their ass. But I think there's going to be quite a few rivals in this, and that's what makes it so good. And all of these teams are close enough to us that. But there's a lot of Cardinal fans. There's a lot of Cub fans. There's a lot of Royal fans. Dodgers are in Oklahoma City. It's going to be interesting to see who the biggest rival is.
One of the guys who signed a minor league deal and familiar with Wichita State fans is Pat Venditti. Played at the Creighton, and he's very unique. He throws both right and left-handed. Is there a chance that the Marlins may keep him on and maybe send him down to AAA, or do you know anything about that?
No, but I'll make the commitment to go on the show with you again real soon and get that answer for you.
Hey,
well,
we wouldn't mind that.
Lou and I were talking this morning about, you guys are too young, but there was a guy named Greg Harris that used to throw right-handed and left-handed. Do you remember that? And his name he's probably 50-something years old, but his name hadn't come up in years and years. But when you start talking baseball and you get around these guys that have been around it so long, and just the memories and the stories are the greatest. And I can tell you guys are baseball fans and know baseball. So at the end of one of these games here that you guys come to, we'll sit around, have an adult beverage, and tell some good stories.
Sounds like a plan. Go ahead and tell people, as a general manager, I know you've been in the big leagues, like you said, for 17 years. What's the most frustrating or just, hardest working part about your job?
That is so easy to answer. I freaking hate rain. I hate rain. You know, because when it's raining, you know, you got the tarp down and people don't come out. Or so when you're a baseball guy, it's amazing how during the season how much the weather can affect how you feel. And then the same token, when you get a day like today, and we would have been, you know, our first pitch would have been at 1 o'clock. This place would have been jumping. I had a call from 3 or 4 of my buddies that said, man, I was going to get there about, you know, it was an 11 o'clock game. I was going to get there at 9:30 when the gates open. And, but rain, and again, there's nothing you can do about it, but I still hate bad weather when we're getting ready to play a game.
Yeah.
I hear you. When I worked for the Tucson Sidewinders, that was the worst part of the whole thing was
Yeah,
the
you were
rain.
pulling a tarp, right?
Yeah, had to pull the tarp, and then you had a city who wouldn't help you in patching up the tarp. So when you pulled it off, it was like you were swimming. I mean, it was just not fun
So
at
that's
all.
awesome. You work for the Sidewinders?
I did. I
What
did
years?
in 2006.
Awesome.
2006 when they won it all with Rick Parr as general
Rick
manager,
Parr.
Chip Hale. Yeah.
Oh, those guys are great friends. And Chip's coaching
Yeah.
in the big leagues now, right? With Oakland.
Oh, Oakland. Yeah.
Actually moved to the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, but he was with Oakland. Yeah, see, he was a manager in Double-A in the Texas League. But Rick Parr is one of those guys too. Been around baseball forever, and that's a good man. He's back in El Paso now, I think.
Yeah, we had him on the show a couple weeks ago, so he was really fun to talk to. And just like you, he's got a bunch of stories just like you do. So it'd be nice to get together with both of you guys and to hear about all those stories.
Well, we got a few that they used to have the El Paso Seminar down there in like the early '80s, and Rick and I were young kids then, and we'd go to Juarez, you know, for one of the and bet on the dogs and all that. It was crazy. You don't go to Juarez these days. But Rick's a baseball guy and a great guy. That's cool, Adam. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, it was a great opportunity. And I just have to ask you this one more question. When you got to the major league level, working with the Rangers and stuff, what made you want to come back down to the minor leagues?
You know, I get asked that a lot, and I enjoyed both the big leagues but the minor leagues, I like the fact that you can wear so many different hats, you know, and like you, I for years I pulled the tarp, and I've got 2 new knees now, and I don't pull the tarp anymore. But it's kind of that camaraderie you have with everybody in the minor leagues because you all chip in and help each other. In the big leagues, you get focused on one job, and by God, you better wear that job or, you know, do that job well. I don't like to wear ties. And in the big leagues, they think you got to wear a tie. So I'm not good at that. And I've cut many ties off of people in the major leagues and the minor leagues. And I finally got cured of that one time when I cut off a good friend's tie, and he said his son gave it to him for Father's Day. So I don't cut off ties anymore. But I just like the atmosphere of the minor leagues so much better, and the fact that you can do so many different things in the minor leagues. The big leagues, they never had swimming pools or fireworks or giveaway nights or any of that other stuff until they saw how the minor league guys did it.
Yeah. Now, one thing I want to ask you is when you get that call from the ownership saying, hey, I want you to talk to this player and tell him that he's going to take the bus, he's coming up to the Marlins organization. What do you tell those guys when they go up to the big leagues to keep them positive and to keep them focused for this big move up?
The only thing that this can be a little confusing to people, Aaron, that really happens with their manager, the manager of the team, because they're property of, say, you know, like all those years with the Rangers, when we had a player that was getting called up, they would call me and let me know if they couldn't get a hold of the manager. But the manager of the team is the guy that gets to deliver that message, which there's nothing better in the world than telling a kid he's going to the big leagues. But yeah, I can't tell you how many times I was able to sit in and listen to it happen. And I'll tell you a great story in in the year 2000, when we opened, Round Rock opened, we were playing the Wichita Wranglers in the championship series. And the first 3 games were here as a best of 5, and we won the first 2. And I still remember telling my manager, I said, hey, man, if we don't win tonight, it's okay. Now, I'm not telling you I threw a game or asked him to, but we didn't win that night. But the next night we're going home, and we had 10,000 people in the stands, and we won 9-2 and won the championship, and we're all celebrating on the field. And the Astros called, and they said, hey, we're taking Morgan Insberg and Keith Ginner to the big leagues tomorrow. Can you guys tell them? And we're all on the field celebrating. And Tim Papura, who was the farm director, and Jackie Moore, who was the manager of our team, I asked the announcer to tell those 2 players to come to the mound, and Jackie and Tim and myself were there. And Jackie Moore, our manager, who managed in the big leagues, who coached in the big leagues, said to Keith and Morgan, guys, congratulations on the championship, but you're not done. Tomorrow, you need to get in your automobile and drive to Houston. You're going to the big leagues. And both of those kids just started bawling. And Jackie hugged them, and he had a kid on each arm. And that picture is still in all the Astro clubhouses around baseball, because that's what it's all about. That's player development at its best. And to be able to tell those guys on the field when we just won a championship in front of 10,000 people on their feet cheering for them, it was emotional, and it's just a great memory.
Now,
there's nothing more fun than telling a guy that, or being in the room as they tell a guy he's going to the big leagues.
Yeah. Now, out of all the managers that you've been a GM above, who would you say, not trying to put you on the spot and make any other managers mad, but who would you say is probably your favorite manager you've ever had?
Well, if you guys hang up and look at the resume of Jackie Moore, who managed Oakland. He was a bench coach for Lou Piniella and Billy Martin. He was a bench coach for the Rangers when we were in the World Series in 10 and 11. He was my manager in Round Rock for 8 years, probably one of my best friends in life, if not my best friend in life. But I love Jackie Moore. Ron Washington was very animated as a big league manager. He was a lot of fun. There's a lot of great Wash stories out there. And Valentine was good, Bobby Valentine, a little egotistical, but he was still a good baseball man. But Jackie Moore would be number one.
That's cool.
Adam, you got any questions? Armand?
I'm good.
Are you guys?
Armand, you got one?
I'm good. Just thankful to have you on, and I'm counting down days, hoping we still get to go up there and see some baseball. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I believe it's going to happen, and thanks for spreading the goodwill with your radio Zoom with the show here, and we appreciate it very much.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this to Alex down in Oklahoma City, because he said he wanted to see this interview first before I get third GM on the show. So hopefully he'll agree to it, and we can get the GM for the Dodgers on the show sometime this week or next week.
Well, that sounds good. And then get the guy from Nashville too. He was an intern for me in Round Rock. His name's Adam Noose. He runs the Nashville club. He's the president and GM there. He's a good interview, and probably in his early 40s, and really had a great career at such a young age.
Yeah, I'll shoot him an email. So, well, Jay, we appreciate it. We hope you guys are staying safe. And like we all said, we miss baseball, and we hope to have it back here early June and get out to Wichita.
Well, if you guys want a tour, Armand's been through it. Just you got my cell phone. Just ring me, and I'll walk you guys through and show you the clubhouse, show you the whole place.
Sounds like a plan. We appreciate it, Jay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.
All right, take care.
Thank you for being on.
You bet. Bye-bye.
And that's going to do it for our show today. We want to thank Jay Miller for being on from the Wichita WindSurge. Go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. And later this week, we will have another show, another guest we do not know of, but we will let you know. Thank you.